Finally, Alice from Goddess of Victory NIKKE. I have been asking for this since day one. When the character design was revealed, like the game was being launched and then everyone, they were hyping up this game and then a lot of cosplayers jumped on the bandwagon. And the best part, the company behind this figure is Flare. In case you guys are not aware of, Flare has ties with Alter. Yeah. Hi and welcome back to the channel. It is a Sunday, so we will be taking a look at figures on pre-order. This time around between 27th of November to 2nd of December 2023. We are into the final month of the year already. Time really flies. For this week, there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of genuine scale figures on pre-order, including the exclusive ones. It is really insane. And for the third party side, yeah, things are a bit lesser in number, but still we do have some interesting stuff to go through. So without further ado, we'll take a look at Hlj Hobby Link Japan, which is our affiliate partner, to start things off. As usual, we'll go through mainly the female characters, but I'll stop by some of the dudes for the genuine side at least, right? Okay. The first few figures, more than half a dozen, these are all low cost figures. I would like to get them out of the way first. Mietos is coming up with 4 low cost figures at 1/10 scale under their Gift Plus series. From Honor of Kings Weaving Dreams series, Wang Zhaozun. Okay, this one is just under 5,000 yen, coming out in August next year. So it seems like it is not just Good Smile Company, but even Mietos also needs almost a year to get a simple low-cost figure out, right? The next one, also from Honor of Kings, I think this is a Chinese manhwa or game series, I think. From the same series, Yang Yu Huan, for the same price, also coming out in August. And I mean, look at the amount of detail. I know this is not painting, but decal placement. This is quite exceptional for a low-cost figure of 5,000 yen. So I do think it feels like a lot of figure companies, not just Mietos, right? Also Rebos with their Rise Up series, Furyo with their Tenito series, and I think Kadokawa, they have their Kadokawa Light series. They are really challenging Good Smile over here with the low cost segment, but it is not exactly a direct challenge in the way that everyone is focusing on what they do best. Mietos, they are best at this Chinese origin stuff. And then Kadokawa, of course, they focus on the characters of their own IP, their own copyright or license. And then the characters coming up by Furyo and Tenito, it is like those are the kind of characters Good Smile are not making the figures of yet at the moment. So it seems like they are trying not to clash with each other at the same time. The next one from the same series, Si Shi, I think her name is pronounced as Si Shi, is it? 4,800 yen as well. The face on this one is perhaps my favorite one so far, but the outfits and the color, yeah, quite boring. The whole thing is just purple bluish. The one before that, yeah, this one over here, this is the most amazing one in terms of the outfit. And then the next one, for the same price as well, Diao-chan, 4,800 yen. Now, the color scheme on this one is quite pleasing to the eye at least. Every single one of them, all 4 are coming out in August next year, and they all have the similar base. Once again, this one comes with amazing looking decals on the outfits as well. Unfortunately, I know nothing about this Chinese series, and I don't think I have too much interest in them either. Moving on to the next one, we have a few Tenito series figures by Furyo. Tomura Shigaraki from BNHA, 5,450 yen, coming out in June. With that additional 500-700 yen over pop-up rate, you are getting a bit of extra. I like the base over there. Yes, there is not much shading. Probably just a single block of plain plastic, but that is better than pop-up rates hexagonal base, right? I think everyone would agree with that. The next one over here, Dabi from BNHA as well, for the same price and coming out in October. Almost one entire year. Now the outfit on this one, the detailing is really nice. Yeah. From the looks of it, BNHA will have hundreds of episodes, right? Just like most shonen anime in general. The next one, Tenitol Himiko Toga from BNHA. Himiko Toga, we had so many figures of her, but until today, I think one of my favorite ones is the one made by Spiritil. Yeah, the one where she is sitting on a mountain of trash. Well, not exactly trash, but I think you know which one I'm referring to. This one, 5,500 yen. Once again, you're getting that base. Yeah, that base is amazing over here, but the face on this one, I can't say I like her face on this version of Himiko Toga, but then again, so many options for this character, even in the price figure market, right? Up next, two low-cost 1x7 scale figures by El Coco, both from Konosuba. This is Megumin and Aqua, and I don't think maybe Aqua is not wearing any pantsuit down there, because she doesn't. And this figure over here reminds me of those knitwear prize figures under titles Kawful series of prize figures. Very similar in that regard. And this is the kind of pose I would totally see Aqua come up with, especially when she is trying to brag about herself achieving something insignificant. Okay, and for the face at least, right? I mean, for low cost figures, as long as they get the face right, I wouldn't complain too much. Yeah. The face on this looks pretty fine. And of course, I prefer Megumin between the two. And the face expression on this one is partly have to do with it. And I love that cat over there. I think the name is Jomosuke, right? Yeah, that black cat over there, that is a nice addition. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have a few pop-up parades. First one, Hajime Hinata. This has to be re-released, right? Or it isn't. No, I don't think so. From Danganronpa 1 to Reload, just under 4,000 yen. As usual with male characters, they are starting to look a bit like price figures in the level of details. Hey, that is a nice tie though. I would love that tie over there. Looks like one of those plain and boring looking male characters who are normally the protagonist, right? Okay, moving on to the next one. Pop-up parade Gaote from 7 Deadly Sins, Dragon's Judgement. I haven't watched much since. I think I only watched a few episodes of the very first season, and since then I did not touch the series. So yeah, I don't know anything about this girl. I haven't seen her before, right? Okay, I'm not sure how to comment about this one. The color scheme is quite nice to look at. But I know, I'm going to complain the same thing again, right? Wow, that is really flat. Judging by her outfit and those crosses around her collar, is she from the church? Okay, moving on to the next one. Okay, from this point onwards, I think mostly they are expensive scale figures. Turafru Darkness Momobilia Devoluke Nurse Costume, 18,000 yen. And these Turafru figures by Union Creative, right? They are quite big. They are almost 1x6 scale. 18k is a great bargain, but well, if you are not too into this nurse outfit, then not a problem, because Questkill or Qskill, my habit, I keep calling them Questkill. Qskill has a really good figure of her where she is undressing that just came out a few weeks ago in November, right? If you like size because bigger is better, or at least that is what she said, then go for the one by Union Creative. I don't see them messing up the figure so much when the outfit is relatively plain. Moving on to the next one. Okay, this is a bit of an oddball over here. I mean, this is by Ami, but HLJ is taking pre-orders for it. Normally, you would think that Ami would slap an exclusive badge on it, or you can only get it from us from our website, but apparently not the case for this figure of Formidable Beach version from Azalin at 1x7, 22,000 yen, which is, yeah, decent price for a 1x7 scale. But when you tell me Formidable, the only figure that ever comes to my mind is the one by Outer with that amazing smile. Yeah, I did not purchase one, but that one is incredibly popular. That is still my top number 1 Formidable figure. This one is a nice to have for sure. Nice to have, but I mean, Formidable, yeah, make that Outer one your ultimate figure of her if you want to get one. Next one from Sen no Kiseki 2, we have Alisa Ranford by Questkill. Out of habit, Qskill for almost 25,000 yen, coming out in December next year, a year away. Now, figures of archer characters are not very common. what more, one that is holding a crossbow. So I am actually liking this quite a bit. And the character design reminds me of Tales of Zestiria, I think. Yeah, Tales of Zestiria. Valkyrie Chronicles as well. I think I watched the anime on that. I liked that one a lot. Yeah, this one is typical Japanese MMORPG game again, right? At least I do like the character a lot. Feels like I'm looking at an Archer version of Asuna. Up next, we have 3 Blue Archive figures. Fabulous. So this is from Wonder Festival many months ago. Azusa in swimsuit by Elegant, but a very pricey 24,800 yen. 28,400 yen. Coming out in November next year, 1 year away. But man, that is a lot of luggage to bring to a beach, man. Are you sure, girl? I mean, I don't think you are able to carry all that. That is a crap load of luggage. Seriously. Sometimes when you go on vacation, it is best to be minimal with the amount of stuff you bring along. Yes, this is expensive, but at the same time, I think you guys can see why, right? Self-explanatory over here. I really love the props and everything else that is surrounding her. It is making the figure appear more unique. And this face expression, this is the best part about this figure. If you buy this figure but you don't display her with this face expression over here, you might as well just gift it to me or dump it in the garbage bin. You know? This is the best part about this figure. Make sure to change your faceplate if you get this figure. I like this one a lot, even though, well, it is far from my favorite Blue Archive figure. Not my favorite character design, but still because of the props and the diorama surrounding her, that is why I'm liking this one quite a bit. Okay, moving on to the next one. This is perhaps one of the most boring or underwhelming looking Blue Archive figures out there. Yuuka from Wanderer for just 20,000 yen. Yes, pricing wise, very reasonable. Just that last week, just a few days ago, someone asked me about my opinions on this figure. Do you recommend me picking up this figure of Yuuka? Because I'm not liking it as much. That is one comment in my Facebook page saying so. And my honest opinion on this one, I have 2 problems with this figure. Yeah, I do like it when she is carrying 2 submachine guns over there. But the 2 issues I have, the first one being, I don't think I am a fan of her mouth region. I think the mouth region can be better than just a single flat line, you know. Like, it can be improved upon. I'm not sure how, but I think it could be better. The second problem I have, this is a subjective one, is that she appears rather stiff, the pose. Yeah, this is a plain pose for sure, but that isn't the issue. The issue is that her legs are very straight, exceptionally straight, as if she is forcing herself to pose this way. It doesn't look as natural. Yeah, so this is a minor complaint, but I'm not sure if some of you will agree with me, but at least the base there, that is a nice base. And they managed to make a barcode even look nice on the base over here. Normally, when we see a barcode or a sticker on any box, we just want to tear it off so badly. But yeah, they managed to make the barcode look kind of nice over here. And the third one, Eimi from Blue Archive. Well, not that Eimi Fukada from JAV. Between this one and, what's her name again? Azusa earlier. The one sitting on a bunch of luggage. You ask me which is my favorite this week among these 3 Blue Archive scale figures. I'm not sure how to choose between Eimi and Azusa because there is something nice about each of them which I really like. This one is by Mimeyoi, Chinese brand, and only 18,000 yen. Hell, just get one. This is a no-brainer, I think. This is a really good buy for 18,000 yen. And is that a combat shotgun? Yeah, I like that shotgun a lot. It doesn't look realistic, it is very colorful, but doesn't matter because the character design is really sweet over here. The next one here, finally, Alice from Goddess of Victory NIKKE. I have been asking for this since day one. When the character design was revealed, like, you know, the game was being launched and then they were hyping up this game and then a lot of cosplayers jumped on the bandwagon cosplaying this character over here. Yeah, since day one, I wanted one, and I think shortly after, there was a third-party resin figure brand who announced a figure of her, but it was really expensive, couldn't afford it. And then after for so long, you finally get a 1x7 scale figure of her. Is this 1x7? I think so. And the best part, the company behind this figure is Flare. In case you guys are not aware of, Flare has ties with Alter. Yeah, so that is good news. That is the best news about this figure over here. Flare is maybe a notch below Alter, not at Alter level, but still very good and way better than many figure companies out there, right? They don't make many figures, they only launch a few figures in a year, but doesn't matter. I know that a company that can be trusted is behind this figure. I would happily hit the pre-order button. And I have already done so actually. I have pre-ordered her on HLJ. I don't pre-order figures very often, right? I collect FGO a lot and I always wait until after release before buying one. But I'm willing to give Alice an exception and pre-order her early because I don't know what the demands will be like after release. She is already a best seller both in HLJ and in Ami, and for that reason I pre-ordered her early, right? This is one of the rare cases over here. Not to mention, this is only 22,000 yen. I mean, it is not a huge financial commitment, so why not just hit the order button? She is coming out in October 2024, almost a year away. I'm excited for this one, definitely. Moving on to the next figure from Star Trek Operation Officer Uhura, Bishoujo statue by Kotobukiya, 1x7 scale, 15,400 yen, coming out in June. I've never been a fan of this Bishoujo series of figures by Kotobukiya, but they do have their own value proposition over there. They are really cheap. They go for between 12,000 to 16,000 yen each usually. And for Star Trek, well, I'm not really too fond of this Western science fiction or mecha comic stuff, right? I love Gundam, but Star Trek or Star Wars, not so much really. Moving on to the next one, Vivv from Vivv Fluorite Ice Song, 1x7 scale by Good Smile, just under 22,000 yen. Okay, I don't know much about this character, but based from what I can see from the character design and the pose, VTuber, is it? Or idol? Yeah, let me know if you know something about this character. 22,000 yen, well, this is a very nice trend going on over here where a lot of figures nowadays are not as expensive as what we were used to see last year. I mean, look at this figure, right? There are quite a number of parts. The outfit is not easy to manufacture, but this thing is less than 22k. That is an amazing price, and the only thing I don't like about this figure is the color scheme. For some reason, I have never liked blue color being the predominant color on a figure. Especially pale and light blue color like this one over here, right? Explains why I'm not a big fan of RAM, I suppose. Next one over here, okay, Sister Sucubus. At first glance, I was thinking another nun figure, and then I looked more carefully, Sucubus, okay. This is also a relatively new concept, and this could be a branch of the nun concept, which we have been getting a lot of figures from nowadays, right? Okay, Sister Sucubus illustrated by Dish by Leisurely. I have no idea if Leisurely and Lovely are the same company. I don't know anything about this brand, but judging by the logo of the brand and also the font, it looks like Lovely has a branch over here and they are naming it Leisurely. This is purely my speculation. I need to find out more. And as for the figure itself, wow, this is very tall and thin, right? It almost feels like you put a picture of an anime girl in a Photoshop and then you just stretch it with and this is what you get, right? I know this is based on the original art by the artist. If they draw it like that, the figure has to look like that. Purely subjective, purely personal preferences over here. But yeah, really looks like a picture being stretched in Photoshop. Okay, this one I actually like it quite a bit. 25k is okay. I wouldn't call this cheap, but it isn't expensive at the same time. And of course, if you are not interested in the wall scroll that is bundled in, you can get her for 23,000 yen only. Moving on to the next one, I thought I was looking at the 1x4 scale figure by Freeing again. That was so misleading. No, this is a 1x7 scale Wave Corporation Dream Tech series, Annie's Farm Memories style from Bogman must be a classic, right? I mean, look at her face. That is totally classic art style. Okay, just under 19,000 yen, but classic stuff isn't really my cup of tea. So we'll move on to the next figure. We have two 1x4 skills this week. Lucy Hatfilia Barrelate Bunny version by Freeing, 25,400 yen. So yeah, if you missed out your first chance, this is your second chance. But if you don't like what you're looking at, it is fairy tale. You might find something in the third-party resin market, or you can go for pop-up rate XL. Yeah, they have Lucy too, I think. And the next one over here, Wolves and Harem. Oh yes, did you watch the anime? We need more fan service anime nowadays, but with good plot, right? Fan service alone isn't enough. Okay, Akira Todo Bunny version, 28,200 yen. Now this is exceptionally cheap for a new figure that is not a re-release. Yeah, this is quite cheap, but not a fan of her. Okay, but to those of you collecting 1x4 skill bunnies, this is a great purchase, right? I mean, as long as you like the character design, of course, this is less than 30k. The next one here, there we go, Nan figure. We have a lot of them lately. 1x5 skill though, very nice. Nan demo Yurushite Kureru. I will forgive you for anything. Is it what that means? But anyway, this is a sister illustrated by Neko Mugi. 27,000 yen by Lovely. This is the limited edition or special edition. Third yen pan is special edition. And then there is a 2,000 yen cheaper version where you are not getting that cross in the background, which I don't see a point over here. If you are telling me 2,000 yen difference is wall scroll or no wall scroll, then sure, I might skip the wall scroll. But why pay less for an inferior base? You're getting that cross over there, a very detailed looking one for extra 2,000 yen, might as well go all out for this version, right? So the standard version, I don't quite get it. Like, it shouldn't exist at all to me. 25 to 27k for 1x5 skill. Yeah, that is an okay price. I wouldn't call it cheap because sitting post figures like this, they are not very big to begin with. Up next, Acy figure again from Q6, and they are giant Opai figures. No idea why people like them, but I guess everyone have their own preferences. 1x6 skill Moshimo Onani. Yeah, no Kaigo. Screw it. I'm not reading that. Yukina Toranomon. So is she a Digimon? This is the 10 version for 20,000 yen at 1x6 skill, and there is a fairer skinned version for the same price. For this one, well, pick your poison, right? I'm not a fan of these figures, so if you ask me to choose which is your favorite version, I'm not too sure myself, man. With Q6, I mentioned this before, but just let me repeat myself to those of you who may be new on this channel. This company, they are B tier, they are average Acy figure company. They are not as good as SkyTube or Native, but they offer value. Huge figure, 20,000 yen, 22,000 yen. It is really rare to see the figures start with a 30,000, right? So really up to you. If you are looking for value figures and you like this kind of body styles, then yeah, they are worth considering. Moving on to the next one. Okay, we have about 3 or 4 dudes over here. Might as well cover them. Figure Arts Zero, Sasuke Uchiha from Naruto, right? Okay, 8,500 yen. With Figure Arts Zero, I'm not really sure what to think about them. Like, they are a level above price figures, but not as good as premium skill figures in quality. And my biggest problem with them has to be the size. They are quite small. But then I suppose that Japanese collectors like figures that are not too big because they don't have much space. They live in really small houses, small apartments, and small rooms. And this one coming out in April, that is really soon. At least based on these product pictures, yeah, the face looks really nice for a small figure. Up next, Figure Arts Zero as well, Itachi Uchiha. Okay, 8,500 yen as well. Even though they may be a bit on the expensive side, for those of us who love big figures, they feel expensive. But it does feel like the quality is there, at least based on these product pictures, you know. Up next, 1/8 scale Dazai Osamu dress up version from Bungo Stray Dogs for 28,500 yen by Hobby Max. Coming out in February, must be 2025, right? Yeah, year 25. It won't be out in 2 months. Okay, so if not for this being a male character, I mean, if this is not a dude, I would even consider the one just to get all of the accessories surrounding him. That is amazing. And even though this is an additional 10,000 yen more expensive than the regular version over here, where you're getting only the figure and the base, this is, yeah, I know this is good value for under 20k, but still I would recommend you guys to go all out and go for the better version, right? Giving more options to figure collectors is always a good thing. More choice is always better. But for this figure specifically, oh, this is really good. That shading on the vest, the striped vest there, this is really nice. Bungo Stray Dogs, I think there are 2 seasons now, or 3 seasons, I can't remember. I did not watch it. I may not collect male character figures, but I can certainly appreciate this thing as a work of art. This is really nice. And that is all for figures on pre-order on HLJ. We'll stop by Good Smile Online. Okay, this figure over here, Nobara Kugisaki from Jujutsu Kaisen. This is a premium scale figure by Fire Sega. But the, Sega is not taking pre-orders on their own website, their own Fire website. You can get this figure through Good Smile Online, which is always a nice thing. Yeah, Good Smile is not going to give you discounts for sure, but they do have flat rate shipping, which a lot of you will appreciate, especially if you live in a country half a planet away from Japan, you know, like UK, US, your shipping costs can get really expensive, and this is where Good Smile's flat rate shipping makes a lot of sense, right? This figure of Nobara Kugisaki, this looks incredible. Like, I am not normally a fan of all these, how do I put it, effect parts in figures, but this one is really well executed over here. This looks really good. And what is the pricing again? I believe this is almost 30,000 yen. Yeah, 26,400 yen inclusive of taxes. It is closer to 30,000 yen. Yep. And she is coming out in November next year. So this is one of the better looking Jujutsu Kaisen scale figures I've seen in a while. And even the black color outfit over there with that slight blue color tinge to it, I love it a lot. I love this figure just for the color scheme alone, right? Okay. And then moving on, we stop by niningame.com. As usual, every week we have a lot of ecchi figures on Ninin Game. Go and check them out yourself. I'm not covering those that are very lewd. Now for the first one over here, this is kind of okay. Except to the SJWs, of course. We have Nikan Shoujo Cat with a rolled up sleeves. Minueta, 1x4 skill by Insight. And she actually has a pantsu down to her knees, right? I'm not showing you guys in this picture over here. This is a 1x4 skill version. And there is also a 1x6 skill option. And the price should be 27,000 yen. Ninin Games website always bugs out. I choose Japanese yen, they show me some other currency. Okay, let me try again and see. Yeah, they're not letting me convert, but this amount should be around 27 or 28,000 yen. And then here we have a 1x6 scale version going for 20,000 yen. If 1x6 scale is 20k, then I think the 1x4 is around 30k. Anyways, I don't think my estimate is too far off. Then moving on to the next one, this is super difficult to get. This is very exclusive, not just exclusive, right? Uma Musume Pretty Derby Season 3 Duramente 1x7 skill by iQueer and CY Games. Ninin Game is saying this is a Kotobukiya online shop exclusive, but I couldn't find it in Koto's online shop at all. And the only way I can find it other than Ninin Game is in CY shop. Yeah, CY Games online shop. They call it CY shop. That is the only place you can get this figure. For the normal price of 25,000 yen, Ninin Game is asking you for a premium at 29,590 yen. This is actually 25k because they need to source an extremely limited figure from the original supplier, right? So they need to earn a bit from it. Not too surprised over here. And this has to be one of the better looking Uma Musume scale figures I've seen. Just that 30,000 yen is pretty pricey, right? And regardless of what I say about how this figure is very expensive, the value is only to go up even further after release because this is super popular in Japan, right? Not to mention the ultra exclusive status of this figure is not going to do her any good in the aftermarket resale value. The pose and the painting on this thing, man. I mean, look at her hair over there. The dark brown to light brown and medium brown, that shading, oh, that is something I love so much on anime figures. I like this kind of paint style, and where doing shading, it is something I'm always looking out for in expensive scale figures. That is actually one of the main reasons why I consider this one of the better looking Uma Musume skills out there, but she doesn't come cheap for sure. Moving on to the next one, ecchi figure, Jetai Junpaku Maho Shoujo Erika Kuramoto 1x4 skill Pinky Bunny version by Binding and Native, 38,000 yen. Must be Raita artwork again, and unfortunately I can only show you guys her face, right? But this is a really nice looking 1x4 scale figure, if not for the body proportions, which is ultra unrealistic. Like, the three sizes of this figure, it feels like 100, 40, and 95. It doesn't make any sense. The waist is so narrow. And the next one over here, this is also a really good one, and she looks really familiar. I think she appeared in one of those NTR H anime that I've watched recently. Very familiar face over here. I can only show you guys her face as usual. Akane wa Sumare Somareru. Yeah. NTR. I love NTR because other people's suffering is my own happiness. I'm a bit sadist in a way. Okay. Nanao Akane 1x6 skill. US 180. 30,000 yen, I think, right? Close to that. I would love to have one. I have never been a fan of giant TD anime girls, but maybe because I can relate to this specific character, to one of those NTRH anime which I kind of liked. That is why I kind of want the figure, I think. Yeah. And it has been a long time since I last purchased a native or binding figure. Seriously. I think my estimates might be correct here on this being close to 30,000 yen because this is the normal version. The limited version is 39,000 yen and you're getting that extra faceplate and a bunch of you know what accessories, right? As usual, go for the more expensive version whenever you can. The next one over here, another ecchi figure. We have Creators Collection Original Character Pure White Angel Chan and 1x6 scale. Native Store exclusive as well by Hot Venus. 29,000 yen coming out in October. And there is a limited edition for just another extra 3,000 yen where you get tapestry set, right? I really would love to put more pictures of this figure on screen because these are really products of art. They are amazing artwork, but social media censorship just had to get in the way. And that is all for genuine figures on pre-order this week. Up next, third-party resin figures making use of OzGK, our affiliate partner on this channel. For many of the figures which I think will be quite popular, I am including an affiliate pre-order link down in the descriptions below. Make use of them if you are interested in any of them and you are also helping out the channel in the process. Okay, so I have selected the figures I want to cover. The first one over here, we are off to a really great start over here. They are calling this Angle Wings. I believe that is a misspelling. Could be Angel Wings actually. Makes more sense, right? Genshin Impact Ganyu. This is an early bird pre-order. Those prices are not final. And I don't even know how to predict the prices over here. Because we don't know if this is 1x4 or 1x6 scale. Even the scale is not yet mentioned. But this has to be one of the better looking Ganyu third-party figures I've seen lately. Like, there has been so many figures of her in the past. This one is certainly right up there among the best ones I've seen. Yeah, Chinese theme, I know. They have been done to death already. So many of them. But this one, how do I put it? It is a combination of the setup and the face and pretty much everything. It looks so nice, so well balanced and so attractive. Yeah, that face expression, I think. I am always looking out for the face. Moving on to the next one. This is fairly pricey. Fairy Bean Studio Original Character Millennium Tour. Millennium Tour, what is that supposed to mean? But okay, this is 1x7 scale, right? 1x8, I think. Let me have a look. Yes, this is 1/8 scale coming out in 4th quarter of year 2024, and she goes for $556. Yeah, I think we can see why this is so pricey, right? There are so much details going on. Like, if money is no object and you loved the character design on this thing, yeah, go ahead and pick one up. I'm not sure if this is licensed or third party. It almost looks like a licensed figure to me. But regardless, as a product of art, this is amazing. I know $556 is a lot of money for a 1/8 scale, but I think these pictures, they speak for themselves, right? She is sitting on a wolf, and with all these extra parts, man, this is amazing. Super huge base though, so you need to factor in display space for this one. Moving on to the next one, early bird pre-order, right? The price is not yet finalized over there. Crimson Studio, Azalane Lemalin. This is a 1/6 scale. They are saying $80 for deposit and then could go up to $382. I think that is for the deluxe version, almost $400, where you're getting almost entirely two separate figures. Maybe one is a lute one and one is a normal one, right? I believe each of these figure of Lemalin won't be more than $200. That is my own personal prediction. The problem for Lemalin is that, well, we already have amazing genuine scale figures of her coming soon or already out, right? Any game 1/6 scale and also coming from Outer, they're making one. And those two are amazing Lemalin figures. So I would say this one over here is quite a tough sell. Not easy. Because the genuine ones are already so good that I don't know what else can you ask for other than wanting a lute version of the said character. Moving on to the next one, from CCB Studio, we have Duolo Continent Hula. I believe this is a licensed resin figure. Yeah, so this one is going for $784 at 1/4 scale. And this Duolo Continent thing, I think I saw this name in an anime torrent site. Wow. This Ninetale Fox thing, right, is so popular in in anime, in games, and so on. Like, every single franchise will try to make a character based on this mythology, right? I'm not sure if I like the main character design, but those tails behind her, the overall character design is amazing. I don't think 784 is expensive at all for this one. Is there LED inside those tails? Because if there is, oh, this is incredible. Details galore, right? Just enjoy the details over here. Yeah, at the bottom left over there, I'm not sure if you can see it in my video. It is written there, copyright 1998 to 2023, 10 cents, all rights reserved. So this is definitely a licensed resin figure. The overall height of this figure, 76. This is massive, right? I know the base is a cheat code. They increased quite a few inches of height over there, but still overall this is massive. Up next, we have a Chinese style yaw forger, and she actually isn't 637. So if you take a look at the basic version, which is this picture over here, it is actually $359 only, which is actually not bad for a huge figure of yaw forger with everything behind her, right? The thing is that the silicone version, which is completely nude, I'm not putting it on screen, that is $497, and if you get both, $637. For me, if you insist on getting this one, I would say the basic version is more than good enough, right? And the problem I have with this yaw forger is I am not a fan of the body proportion or the face at all. Yes, I know this is a realistic version of her, but I still don't like it. Yeah, that face over there, no. Some of you might like realistic interpretations like this. For me, not so much. Up next, early bird pre-order Genshin Impact Furina from SLN Studio. Okay, so this one at 1/6 scale, the price is not yet confirmed. That is not the real price. I am predicting closer to $200 at least for the normal version. But if there is an 18 plus version and maybe even a deluxe version, then it might go up to 400, right? This certainly isn't the best Furina figure I've seen. I would suggest be more patient and wait for the more notable, more famous and high quality resin figure brands to take up on this character. Moving on to the next one, I can only show her face because this is Holo from Spice and Wolf, so you can kind of guess where she is wearing nearly nothing. She is always a naked wolf, right? Wolf girl. Going for $497 US. That is actually not too bad for a 1x4 scale with a diorama base over there. Yeah, there is a diorama base. So what do you think? Will you spend almost $500 for a realistic interpretation of Holo? For me, once again, not a big fan of it. Yeah. Up next, Diamond Studio Tsunade from Naruto. That price is not the real or final price. At 1x6 scale, I don't see this being more than $200 though. And this is just Tsunade in black bikini. So nothing special about it. I don't see why would you want to get this, right? Get something nicer for yourself at $200. There are better figures to be purchased. Moving on to the next one, in an Acy Studio, we have Vivv from One Piece. Okay. For some reason, a lot of these One Piece figures, they are lying on this luxurious looking sofa. Okay, $129 only. There is the normal face and smiling face. Why not just include two heads in the box and sell it for maybe $159, $179? Why would you want it to be two separate figures? I would never understand. Maybe they are trying to keep the prices in check. That is the only thing I could think of at the moment, but I think this would be better if they were one single figure with two separate heads. Yeah, I know that it is probably difficult to do face part swapping like the genuine PVC figures do because resin is very fragile and you don't want those small hair parts to be removable like that. But at least give us an entire separate head, right, for a slightly higher price. But regardless of which one you go for, $129 is quite cheap for sure. Up next, from CCB Studio. CCB is a curse word in my local language actually. Okay, Boa Hancock Surfing from One Piece, $153 US. That is once again pretty cheap for a figure that is 28 centimeters tall. I believe that is 28 centimeters, not millimeters, or else the thing would be this tiny, you know. Anyways, Boa Hancock, I would get something where she is wearing her default outfit, not something like this. Moving on to the next one over here. Okay, from Unique Art Studio, we have, this must be Link Incarnation, I think. Yeah, Link Incarnation by Yue Kui and Mark. $829 US. That is for this deluxe version you're looking at on screen over here. There is a single version or simple version where you get figure and base only for $304. So yeah, the base alone is a huge premium of almost $500 US. Of course, those of you with deep pockets, you will want the full package, right? I wonder if they are putting LEDs inside this thing. They better do so because this is a huge figure. No reason not to put LEDs inside. Link Incarnation, I'm starting to see genuine figures coming out for this game. Like very slowly, there is some activity coming from genuine figure brands, but overall, third-party resins like this one, they really take things to the next level over here. I'm not sure if this is a licensed resin figure. It almost looks like one to me. This is quite impressive indeed. Moving on to the next one. This is definitely a licensed resin figure. Starx V Studio, they do licensed stuff in general. Original character Shadow Moon for $555 US at 1x4 scale, and this thing is badass as heck. Like, look at that. Oh, this is one of my favorite 1x4 scales this week, just because she looks super badass. I could only enjoy the pictures, you see. 57 centimeters tall. Wow, the other girl, I don't know her name, that looks just as cool. This is super nice. Moving on to the next one, another Boa Hancock figure from One Piece by Brainhole Studio. Every other week I see this name, Brainhole Studio. I have no idea which guy came out with this name. But anyways, this is going for $155, and as you can see, compared to that surfing figure earlier of Boa Hancock for a similar price, I would rather get something like this because this is like representative of her in the anime. Yeah, Yeah, 155 for this is bargain indeed. Is this the best Boa Hancock figure? No, I've seen better 1x6 scale resin figures of her at about 200 to 300 bucks. But this one for 155 is not too bad either. Moving on to the next one, AMS Studio. We have Silence Suzuka from Uma Musume. Yeah, these Chinese brands, they are not afraid to play with fire when it comes to copyright, especially with CY games over here. The price is not yet confirmed, but not expected to cost too much. They are saying $155, even though you can't pay for the full price yet should you proceed to pre-order. The thing with Uma Musume, same thing. There are a lot of very convincing genuine figures coming out, so it is very hard to convince any one of you to buy a third-party one unless you want a lewd version of the very same character. Moving on to the next one, because the pose on this thing is questionable, I can only show the upper half of the figure, right? But she is sitting on a photocopy machine with her legs open. Okay, PP Jang Studio, PP Sauce actually, that is what it means. Genshin Impact Workplace Humiliation, Raiden Shogun. The price is not yet confirmed, I think. Full price, well, yeah, not yet confirmed, so it doesn't matter. You know, I have no idea how they managed to come up with ideas like this one, like this figure over here, for figures. I consider myself to be a rather corrupted version mentally. I can imagine all kinds of stuff, but these people behind these figures, they are really next level. Up next, oh, this is pretty popular, I think. BC Studio Asuma Toki from Blue Archive. Yeah, just another bunny girl, but this is cheap, $155 only. I would love to scroll the pictures over here, but her backside is pretty much completely exposed because of how tight her bunny suit is, so we will stop right here. Just make use of the links in the description below and you go and check out the pictures yourself, right? So will you pick up something like this for $155? But Asuma Toki is frequently seen in bunny suit, and that is the case with many other third-party resin figures for this character. Moving on to the next one, we have two figures of Anya over here. This one is her playing dodgeball. I wonder if we are getting that muscular dude. 99 bucks is a lot of money. It is pretty expensive. I don't think I can recommend this Anya for 99 bucks since Anya is a pretty small figure. But the next one over here, this is pretty badass. Like, wow. Very dramatic. Mimo Studio, Anya, they call it second gear for some reason. This is 80 bucks. And this one for $80 I can recommend compared to the dodgeball version, because number one, this is really badass. Like, she is ready for action. And the second reason, here we go. This faceplate over there. So you're getting an extra faceplate, if not an extra head. Oh, they are saying extra head over here. 替换头. So 2 heads and this figure, yeah, only 10 centimeters, I get it. This is quite small. But for 79 bucks, you're getting an extra head. And when you display this figure with this pose and that faceplate over there, it almost looks like trolling to me. And that is what I love so much about this figure of Anya over here. One of the best I've seen so far. Moving on to the next one. Okay, Art of Eden Studio. We have... This is a crossover of Chainsaw Man and Honkai style Makima and Kafka. So what is actually happening over here is that the very same figure, the same body and torso, you can put Makima's head or Kafka's head on because they're using the same exact body, the same exact torso. And I'm not really sure what to think about this, right? You see, they're sharing the same exact body. On one hand, I would say this is genius because, wow, yeah, producing the same part for different figures, so you'll save cost and you cater to two different fan base, the Chainsaw Man fan base and the Honkai style fan base. From a business standpoint, this is genius, but I don't like the fact that they are sharing the same body for some reason, right? It is like every person is different, right? Their character, their face, their body, everyone is different. But so to have two completely different and unrelated characters sharing the same body, I'm not sure if I like that. Yeah. And this being an early bird pre-order, the prices there mean nothing, right? We'll wait for the actual pricing and more pictures. Moving on to the next one, ACY Studio Tainamanin Shizuru Kosaka for $1,050, almost at 1:4 scale. Ah, I see. Not really. If you get version A, this one over here, it is $585 for 1x4, which is normal price for 1x4 resin. Version B is something I couldn't put on screen for a very similar price, and if you get both A plus B, $1,050. Okay, ACY Studio, Beast Studio, and Sunday Studio. These three companies, you guys need to know something, is that they have a history of stealing art to make figures from. So it really depends on you whether you want to support a company like that. Normally I wouldn't at all, but at the same time I would look at things on a case-by-case basis. If this is stolen art, please do not purchase it. But if it is indeed their own original work, then yeah, maybe if you like it, go ahead and purchase one. Is this one stolen art? I have no idea, right? I'm just telling you guys that they have a history of doing so. Okay, Tamanin series. Amakuni made their figures, and I think Native, right? Native also has figures from this series. And they all have giant TDs, so I'm not a huge fan of it. Moving on to the next one, another one of those collaboration. This is NIKKE and Nier Automata. Somehow, same thing. They use the same body, but the head is different. And I can't say I like that, even though from a business standpoint, it makes sense. However, down here, we only have 2B and A2. And both are from Nier Automata. So where is the NIKKE crossover coming from? I'm not too sure over here. $190 for each. Oh, this is A2 for 171. The outfit and the character design, I kind of like it. And here we have her to be holding the mask. I like it a lot. And the pricing is pretty reasonable too for a 1x7 scale. Okay, moving on to the next one, we have Yae Miko from Hlj Studio, $188. We have normal version and nude version. So basically, she is undressing over there, and whether the front part is partially covered or completely exposed, I think that is the difference over there. But this figure of Yae Miko isn't very nice, to be honest. Let me look for the pictures of her face. And here we go, this is her face, and as you can see, I feel like I'm looking at a price figure, and the level of details on this thing is quite poor, and even at a lowly $188, which is considered low for resin figures, I can't recommend this figure of Yae Miko. Moving on to the next one, early bird pre-order, we have Seal and Volare from Honkai Impact 3rd by Arctic Wolf Studio. The price there mean nothing, we'll wait for the actual price. Should be quite soon because I'm seeing pictures being shared on Facebook already on how they look like from the front, and they look really beautiful, right? So we'll wait for more pictures for this one. Up next, we have Honkai Star Rail Guinaifen, I think. Okay, from Spirit Demon Studio. So the normal version for this one is $265. The one you're looking on screen, yeah, this is $265. 18 plus version I can't put on screen for a similar price, I think, or lesser. I think it is less than $200 for that one. And deluxe version you get both for $441. So I'm not going to scroll through the pictures, but for this figure of Guinaifen, sounds like Guinaifen or haunted milk formula powder. I don't know how it is written in Chinese. Okay, but this one, I'm not sure if I like it at all. And I think this is one of the first figures of this character over here. Perhaps wait for more brands to pick up on this character. Up next, from Tofo figure, we have Melusine Summer from FGO. One of those characters where the genuine figure brands refuse to make a figure of so far. So third parties take it into their own hands. The standard version is $219. But if you are horny enough to want her nude, you want additional parts, then she is going for $312. Okay, so we have a nice picture of her over here. I like the face expression a lot, and this is very close to what we see in the official artwork. The only problem is that I think $219 even for the standard version is quite expensive, despite being a 1x6 scale, because this is a very simple figure. Next one, we have an early bird pre-order of Cynthia and G Chom from Fantasy Studio. We are only getting teaser pic over here and nothing else, so we'll wait for more pictures. And then we have Sume Studio, they make licensed resin figures. Yamato from One Piece, $455 which I think is actually quite okay, even though this is a 1/6 scale. That roof base over there, man. I like that roof base so much. And despite this being a 1/6 scale, this is actually quite a big figure. I do think they did list the dimensions for this one. Let's look for the picture. And there you go. She is 40 centimeters tall, quite substantial for a 1/6 scale. And the weight of this thing is 9 kilos. I love it when figure brands tell you in advance what is the size of the packaging and also the weight of the figure, so that you can prepare in advance, you can estimate what the shipping cost is like. This picture over here telling you the weight and the size of the box. This should be standard across every single brand. I wish every brand would do this so that everyone can estimate how much they are going to pay for shipping. And the last resin figure I would like to cover for today, early bird pre-order, not even painted yet. Nina Williams from Tekken. Okay, this is a 1/4 scale and that is all we know at the moment, but this is not going to be cheap. I would say this is $700 to $800 minimum. Yeah. And that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Man, I am really looking forward to that NIKKE Alice figure I pre-ordered. Yeah, almost a year away. If you enjoyed today's video, please do give this video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week. Until then, I'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye and have a nice day.